Hey everyone, welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. A lot of people have done their own version of coworkers are not your friend. So I'm going to go ahead and chime in with my experience. You would think that at my big age of 50 plus and being friends, quote unquote, friends with women at work who are also 50 plus, you would think that the junior high envy, jealousy, all of that stuff would, be done with. But on my present job, which I've been on for 9 years, there were 2 women, one black, one white. It was more than that, I guess, but I would say these were the definitive 2 women that I considered a friend. And one of them stabbed me in the back by becoming close friends with a woman who had slandered my name. I think I've shared it on this channel before. Lied on me, slandered my name, everything. And this friend of mine who knew me first told me she didn't know which one of us to believe. I'm not going to, go into so many, details. And then the white one, I had one white woman and one black woman both tell me, be careful about her. Now, this particular white friend, and I have found this with friends over the years who were white women, they can like you, they can consider you a friend and everything, but they do not want to see you, a black woman, doing better than them. They don't want to see it at all. And we had a coworker who she found out lived in her area. And this is what she was telling me. And she said, oh, you live out here? Like it was impossible for her to live in that particular area as a black woman. Like, how do you have the money to live out here? Because I think she does have a husband. The black lady does have a husband. But I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But the white woman has a husband. So her attitude was, wow, you live out here? So anyway, so I say that to say, it was like she was always in this competition with me. And she was always ear hustling. When she saw me talking to anybody else, she would ear hustle. And one thing, and I kind of had to distance myself. I think God kind of put the distance between us. Sometimes God will remove people from your life who don't mean you any good. But what I discovered about her after we weren't working as closely as we used to, I found that she was the type that would gather information from you and from everybody, and she would use it to her advantage. So when people say that coworkers aren't your friend, they are not, because they would use anything that you say to them against you. In some cases, they would throw something back in your face that they know hurts you. And that's why you have to be very careful about how much you share with people, and I do regret sharing a lot of personal details about my life over the years at work, because it does not serve you. Nobody needs to know the ins and outs of what goes on in your life. But back then, my attitude was, I have nothing to hide. I'm an open book. But no, you don't have to be an open book with everybody, because most people don't care, and most people want to see you hurt. So, and I also ended up deleting or unfollowing some of my coworkers on social media, because some of them only wanted to be on your page to be nosy, to see what's going on with your life. So ironically, the only coworker that I have on my page now is a man. And because I don't think he's the type that's going to be messy and, spreading gossip and stuff like that. But those women that I had on my page, I had to unfollow them. when I saw that they weren't interested in, in me as a person. They just wanted to know what was going on in my personal life. And then finally, one thing that I have found about people is if you don't share personal details about your life, they make assumptions and they create whole scenarios in their minds about what's going on with you and in your life. So your best bet, and I'm not saying that coworkers can't be friends, but it depends on when you meet them. Because, for example, there are two women who are still a part of my life that I met at work, and I've known them for one for 40 plus years and the one for almost 40 years. One, I met her at my very first job in a daycare center, and the other one I met her at Sears way back in 1988. So yes, you can be friends with women, but you also have to with coworkers, but you also have to be mindful for the ones who are in secret competition with you, the ones who make snide little comments and say that they're just joking. Those snide comments and jokes, they mean that. They be meaning that. That's what that white woman used to do. She would say these like little catty little things, and then she would laugh it off. And then when I would say something to her about it, she would brush it off like, it's no big deal. So no. Keep people at a arm's length. Keep your life private. And that's another thing. When you share too much, especially about the job, either not liking the job or not liking people, it's not a wise thing to do. It will definitely be used against you. And that's my topic.